Disgusting. She's in a mood. I know she just doesn't want to do PE. I bet she's just saying she's on her period. I feel like their periods aren't even that painful. Girls exaggerate their periods so much. I mean, it's not even that big of a deal. Why do they gotta use the bathroom all the time? These are some of the comments that students at my high school have personally received from a survey I conducted last month. Specifically, 87% of students who menstruate at my school have felt disadvantaged by their periods. Why is this? Hi, I'm Eva, and today I will be discussing the causes of negative period stigma and how we can overcome it. Negative period stigma is a broad term for the discrimination faced by people who menstruate. It creates a sense of shame, embarrassment, or hesitation to talk about periods as they are looked at as a disgrace. I will start by walking you through 3 significant causes of negative period stigma. The first cause is the lack of education on periods and menstrual health. Let's think about health class. All I learned regarding periods is that every 30 days or so, the egg travels through the fallopian tube to the uterus, and I had to label different parts of a diagram. This information is important. However, we are not learning about the side effects, pain, and difficulties that periods bring into our lives. Some health education programs do not even cover menstrual health or exclude those who do not get their periods from learning about it, which leads to them being misinformed. This loses a key opportunity to tackle period stigma at an early age. The next cause is the lack of normalized discussions on menstruation. When someone needs supplies such as tampons or pads, they tend to ask a friend or a colleague in a hushed tone so that others don't hear. Or they do not feel comfortable asking anyone at all. Many people also use code words for their periods, like that time of the month or code red. And what these words really do is perpetuate the idea that it isn't acceptable to discuss periods plainly without veiled terminology. Furthermore, people generally do not have relaxed and open discussions on periods. If there even are conversations, they're seen as a touchy subject or not acknowledged at all and spoken about in a joking way. Discussions on periods are also often one-sided, tending to occur in divided groups of different genders. Don't get me wrong, it is difficult. Even for me, just speaking about this topic of periods made me question if this subject was too weird or awkward to discuss. But I know that this is because of the way we were brought up and told by society that this normal bodily function is something to not discuss and feel embarrassed by. The last cause I will be talking about is the lack of accessible menstruation supplies, or period poverty. Period poverty means when people are unable to afford sanitary or menstruation supplies, like tampons or pads. Globally, impoverished people are often unable to afford sanitary supplies and may be forced to lose economic opportunities, like work, because they're not able to safely leave their homes while menstruating. They have to rely on everyday materials like newspaper or socks, which can also lead to infection. This lack of supplies leaves them feeling embarrassed or as their periods are dirty or wrong. It is also important to recognize that not everyone has a consistent period cycle of 30 days. Periods are not scheduled, which means that the accessibility of menstrual products in public places is imperative. Now that you understand some of the main causes of negative period stigma, what can we do? I challenge you to discuss periods openly, without shame. This can be done with friends, family, work, or school colleagues, or on a broader scale. By speaking about any topic openly, we help to remove the societal rule against discussing it. If we stop using code words, those around us will grow used to hearing about periods and the normal and natural biological function it is, letting others know that periods are okay. As removing negative period stigma starts with these open, honest conversations, it continues with education that empowers women to feel comfortable with their bodies and their flows. Some schools should try to implement teaching kids the necessary knowledge, like the pain and disadvantages of periods, from a young age. Not only schools, but you yourself can try to teach others too. We need to debunk false period stereotypes like, oh, they're in a bad mood, they must be on their period. Lastly, we need to make menstruation products like tampons and pads accessible, as it will spread more awareness and reduce the stigma that those with periods receive. Currently, I'm working with my school's social justice group, IRCA, to create baskets of period supplies in the girls' and gender-neutral bathrooms around our school. We found that 78% of high school students who menstruate at our school have been in need of sanitary products but did not have any. This could be similar for your community too. Every month, half the world's population gets their period. Yet, around the globe, there is such a stigma surrounding menstruation that the majority of people still feel uncomfortable talking about it. I believe that this culture must be changed. Therefore, by doing these three things of having open discussions, talking more about menstruation, and teaching more about menstruation, and making products accessible, we not only increase employment, but we have the ability to bring a positive emotional impact on everyone who menstruates. A survey by those who menstruate at my school shows that almost 90% of them deal with disadvantages due to their periods. Is this not enough to take action? Thank you.